Hello again. Checking in as we're leaving the greater Nassau area for the IGUANAS. I mentioned we were heading there in my last video, but we took a couple days because we got a really good report for today, which is Sunday, that the water would be really super calm, and you can see that it is. And when I turn the camera around, you'll be able to see both how flat and calm the water is, but hopefully you'll also be able to see that you can see right through to the bottom. You can even see our shadow. It's not a reflection on the water, that is our shadow on the sea floor, which is pretty cool. And down there we've seen some sea stars and sand dollars, and last night we actually saw a needlefish hunting, which was very cool because I hadn't seen them before. Yeah, and the water is, as you can see, an amazing color. And as the sun gets higher, it's going to be easier to tell what we're looking at here in the water. But I can do a brief demonstration. When you're out here, it's really good to have polarized sunglasses because it really alters the character of the water. It allows you to see depth, and it allows you to see better like where there might be coral heads coming up or something. But it's a beautiful day, although it is quite still, so the sun is already very hot. You can see this little lighthouse over here. I think this is where a bunch of the tour boats have been taking people. Looks like there's some eating areas and possibly some places to see sharks and whatnot, so I'm going to keep an eye out for that. And here we are, all two of us. Alright, so if we see anything cool come up in the water or above it, I will check back in. But for now, we're headed onward to the IGUANAS. Hello again, everyone. We wanted to give you a little look at kind of what we're dealing with today. I mentioned that we'd waited for calmer seas because we wanted to be able to see better where we were going, and I wanted to show you why. So we are in kind of this area now, and we are headed through the yellow bank, to get to this area of the IGUANAS. And so as you can see, these little crosses indicate rocks or coral heads or other things that could be obstructions depending on how much water you need and the tide and all that. And so when the water is calmer and the sun is overhead, it's a lot easier to see what's in your way. So we're going to head for an area kind of in between the yellow bank and the white bank where there's fewer of these obstructions. And just keep an eye out and use our polarized sunglasses, and shouldn't be a problem. But since I haven't been here before, and it's been a long time since Dad has been in this area, we just wanted to be extra cautious. Anything I didn't cover there, Dad? Yeah,
and the other thing is, the other challenge is we definitely want to get there before dark.
Right.
So it's like 35 nautical miles. So you do have to keep moving. We had to leave a little bit earlier than ideally. We had to leave before the sun was directly overhead, because if we had, then we wouldn't get there. We'd run a chance of getting there after dark. But I think so far it's working pretty good. We're obviously being very careful. One of us will be on the bow as we get into the more hazardous areas, and giving direction to the helmsperson.
Yeah. So I probably won't be filming if we hit anything, but we're not going to hit anything, so you won't miss it.
No, I mean, we haven't hit anything yet.
No. So, but with the water this still, I've already seen a large sea turtle and a shark, although all of that happens way too quick to like pull your camera out, but we'll definitely get some footage of that stuff when we get to the park.
Yeah, we're in like 20-25 feet of water, and you can still see the bottom.
Yeah.
So it's really something else.
Yeah. All right, we'll see you next time. And we've got dolphins, folks. making their leisurely way, I guess. We are about to hit the, well, not hit, we're about to cross the yellow bank. So I just wanted to show you what I can see here through the water. Probably about 15 feet down, but you can see everything just super clearly. And it's kind of neat to just stand here on the front and watch it go by. Surreal. It's like flying or floating, because the coral and the plants and even sometimes fish going by, you can just see everything. So we have made it to Allen's Key and Leaf Key, and we'll get some close-ups later, but I wanted to show you one of the reasons we came here. Iguanas! There is a rare species of iguana that lives only on a couple islands here, and sort of for better or worse, they're pretty used to people. So we might go take a closer look in a little bit. As you can see, there's kind of a lot of folks here. It's one of the places people stop after they cross that bank. So it's filling up a little bit, but you can see why. And we'll be back in a little bit with more iguana content. So we are approaching the famous, one of the iguana beaches.
Night of the Iguana.
I've seen that movie.
Yeah.
I don't think there were any iguanas in it.
No, I don't think so either.
But I think I mentioned in my last video, they are a rare species that is protected, and I guess there were house mice, invasive house mice that infested the islands that they live on, and they and some of the bird species here that are unique to this place were, I don't know if they were officially listed as endangered, but they were definitely threatened because the mice would eat the eggs. But the mice were apparently eradicated, and the iguanas have apparently made a comeback.
They look very healthy.
But they have very little concern for our approach. There have been boatloads of people through here since we got here an hour ago, so. They seem pretty unconcerned, so I'm gonna get out of here. Okay. So just give you a little, set the scene here. We've got our anchor out and our dinghy here, and home sweet home back there. And let's check out these iguanas. Yeah, they're pretty chill. Oh. This one's approaching. Handsome devils.
Attractive coloring there.
Yeah, the color is pretty neat. They're, you know, green and gray, but they've got some red coloring, and like that dewlap there has some coloring on it. So, can't tell if this guy is waiting to see if I have food or waiting to see if I'm a threat, or both. They can bite and they can whip their tails at you. So obviously you don't want to get too close and you don't want to upset them. Plus they're, you know, not just protected species, but they are wild animals who obviously deserve our respect. Yeah, he does not seem very concerned.
I doubt if they have any natural predators.
No, I think the mice were pretty much it. And those mice were eating the eggs, not obviously dudes this size. So, yeah, no, it's a good point that they don't really have any reason to feel afraid. There's some over here that are just basking. Yeah. Pretty cool. All right, well, we're gonna walk around a little bit and see what else there is to see here. Might be some snorkeling later, but it is really beautiful anchorage. And Dad, do you want to say give them an update on the crossing?
Oh,
so
yeah.
we showed him the chart, and that we
Right.
thought there might be some difficulty.
No, we had no difficulty at all. I mean, we planned very carefully, of course, and waited for the right weather, and we basically didn't have any issues whatsoever. I think it was a good thing that we waited we got this flat calm, because we were able to see clear water all the way across. There was no wind at all to speak of, and we could see the bottom the entire trip. So it took us how long? We left there around 9 something, and got here about 2:30 or 3, something like that.
Yeah.
About 3 o'clock.
And it was an extremely pleasant ride, very smooth. No sailing, sadly.
No sailing, no. It's not a thing you would sail anyway because of the coral heads. Another interesting thing to note, I guess, is 5 or 10 years ago I was here on another sailboat, and we anchored in basically the same place, and we were the only boat here.
That is not true today.
No.
And
About 3 boats came in almost immediately after we did, and we may have had a hard time finding an anchorage.
I think we were fortunate we got here when we did. And the other thing too, I mean, this happens, I think, all over the world with the increased connectivity. We have several books and chart books and guides, and they all mention these iguanas, and they mention where all the anchorages are.
Yeah.
But the last time you were here, you did not know about the iguanas.
No.
Do you want to talk about what happened?
Sure.
So that people can hear?
Yeah, so I was here with my brother Craig and his daughter Lenny and my wife Pat, and we were anchored in this little cove, and there's a beautiful half-moon beach similar to this one just at the other end of this little anchorage. And Lenny decided that she wanted to go onto the beach and relax and get some sun, so she rowed into shore and she set her towel out and had her beverages all set up and was reading a book, and before she could hardly get set down, 20 or 30 iguanas came her from all sides. It was like something out of Jurassic Park. I mean, and you should see, she must have jumped 3 feet in the air, ran into the water, and of course they wouldn't come in after her, and she was pretty startled. But the fact is, none of us expected anything like that, so it made it that much that's what made it so a little bit frightening. Probably had we known that the iguanas are very friendly, relatively friendly, and had no harm. They were just expecting her to give her some food because people have been they're used to having people feed them. So, yeah, that was a pretty funny thing. One of the funniest things I can remember seeing.
So, yeah, but we were prepared this time. and we have not yet been attacked, but they're probably waiting for me to turn the camera off so there's no evidence. So we're going to see what happens when we turn off the camera, and we will talk to you next time.